And we are live, Paddy. Hello, how's it going?
Not too bad. Just back from training there, feeling pumped.
Love it, mate. Love it. I was training today at like midday. I actually started training at midday about last year, whenever I quit the job because it was like, right. I find it gives like a nice wee break. See, evening training doesn't do it for me.
I train, I'll train about 6 days a week. Half of it's cardio for like volleyball and stuff. So that's why I train so late. It's just got in the habit because volleyball's always at the end of the day. So I'll train at like 7 to 10 o'clock. You outside, eh?
Yeah, I am. Look, so this is the home office setup. So obviously, for anyone that doesn't know, I'm currently temporarily moved out of Belfast because I'm going traveling soon. And anyone that's watching this on video, so it's a gazebo. It's down at the moment. It normally goes like a level higher. It's like a gazebo in the
Oh,
back
that's
garden.
actually sick. Holy shit. I did not know you had that going, really.
Yeah, and it's got like these lights obviously turn on at night. And see beside it, it actually is really cool because see beside it, there's like a wee egg chair. So sometimes I can sit out in the egg chair and relax, do my notes, or if I want to be serious business mode, I go under the gazebo. This is my morning chair, face of the sun, and then this is the evening chair. I'll sit there in the evening. So sitting in the evening chair right now.
Nice.
But
That's the cool wee
thanks.
setup, like.
Yeah, I actually think it is. It just naturally happened. We just had a gazebo and then had this like nice thing outside, and I was just like, right. It just kind of happened. So yeah, it's great. And what are we doing today, Paddy? What are we like talking about, or why are we on the Zoom? Let us know. I like to put you on the spot.
Well, me and you have separate podcasts, and we also grew up watching similar podcasts, and we just thought, you know what, me and Owen bounce very easily off each other, so why not just record that, see what happens, and see what value we can give you guys. So that's usually what we do anyway, or
We
try to
do,
do.
we do. Yeah, no, I believe I'm pretty good at giving value, and I believe you are too. So yeah, I literally just tagged Paddy earlier for anyone's watching this. If there is anyone watching it, I tagged Paddy earlier. I was like, let's just trial, and there's nothing set in stone yet, but I was just like, let's just trial a conversation between me, Paddy, and see what happens. Because obviously I've got my own podcast, and that's all well and good. But I want one where I can just let loose and turn off coach mode too, where I can actually just sit and chat. Because you're gonna have different modes for everything you do. You're gonna have modes where you're like with your family, where you're relaxed. You're gonna have modes where you're with your mates and like you're just chatting away with your mates. And of course, on my other podcasts, sometimes I can be great crack, but coach mode can get turned on. So I think actually having two, and I asked ChatGTP, what's your thoughts on guys, if you're not already doing this, run things by ChatGTP. I know they'll have all the information when they take over, but they're gonna have it all anyway. But I was out like ChatGPT knows everything about me. It knows my business finances, it knows what goes through my head at night. It's like everything. But yeah, I asked ChatGPT, they were like, yeah, it's actually a good idea. They were like, just lets you lay loose, and obviously Paddy knows you well, you know Paddy well. It's gonna help us both out, and I feel like obviously it'll help me just chillax and like just chat more casually, and it'll also help you actually with. I know you were struggling with like content bits and pieces with that, and I always say like for anyone that I know that is doing content, I always say like bring into your content what you do good in real life. So like for example, I always say to you like the conversation you'll have with me, and I'll see Paddy. Paddy's like, I don't know how to say it. Paddy's like my right hand man. Where like if I am confused about something, or if I'm not sure of something, or even if let's say I killed someone, first person I would go to is Paddy just to like get his idea because he just knows me inside and out. And it's not even that he knows me, it's just the way Paddy is, just the way his brain goes. He's like, and I've spoke to other people that know you, and they say similar things where it's just like you're just a voice of reason. You know, you're not like any other young 20-year-old lad. You've got very like, and me and you do are have very different opinions too. And I think when we're in a bit of a debate, you can get some good things out of it. But yeah, but as I
We
was saying,
argue a lot. We argue a lot on a lot of different things, but we come out with like understanding about it as well. You know what I mean?
exactly. Exactly. So no, I think I know I've been talking like the last minute, so it's kind of counterproductive, but I think the podcast also give you a really good chance to actually um even take over coach mode, or we can flip and argue back and forth about things, and have good debates, and obviously people watching this might agree with me. People watching this might agree with you. You know,
I can see there's like 5 episodes down the line where you're just fucking shouting at each other about something. Like,
we're
this
done.
would not agree. Like, no,
We're
but
done
like
for.
when I give advice, I'm just very harsh. Like, I don't really care about anyone's feelings when I talk to them about like if they feel as if they're what. So someone came to me the other day and said like, "Mate, I am just so chopped," and I was like, "Yeah, you're right. You're completely right." He's like, what? I was like, "What do you mean? Like, that's not what you meant to say." I'm like, "Well, if you're coming to me saying you're chopped, what am I meant to do about it? You're doing nothing to change that. So if you think you're chopped, I'm sorry, I can't help with that, and I'm not going to tell you you're not, because then what? The worst thing you can say to someone is either like good job or no, you're completely fine, because then it just like also if I said anything to you, you're not going to take me for face value. You can he says I'm not chopped, but everyone else thinks I am. I just it's a circle like. So I'm just brutal with people. I think
What
that's
does
why.
chop?
Like
What does chop mean?
the chop means ugly. Chopped
No,
means so chopped cheese, ugly, chopped shit, chose shit like that, just chopped.
is
And a
that
lot.
like a?
That's brain rot. Like I've been speaking to Shane and Michael a lot. Like
I thought it was a Scottish saying because obviously over in Scotland at the moment.
no, it's universal. Like American, Irish, everyone's using it. Like, but it's basically just a way of saying ugly. It's been around for years. But yeah, like this boy was saying like, "Oh, I'm so ugly," and I'm like, "Yeah, you're right, man." Like, what am I meant to say to him? I'm not gonna say no, you're not, because then I'd be lying.
Yeah, like you won't lie to someone's face. Whereas sometimes I don't really fall victim to that. Like obviously I'll tell someone how it is, but I'll always like put it on a silver platter, dress it up because it's my job as a coach to like obviously say it in a nice way.
Yeah, because this time last year when I was fat, I asked you like this is whenever we were going to go on that Cavos holiday. I think like anyone watching, you've probably been to Xantar or Cavos. You don't want to be the fridge going to a lad's holiday, or else you'll just be thrown to the back having to play defense against another fridge. And essentially, like I asked my mates, Owen included, lads, am I too fat for this holiday? And they go, nah, like you can be the Viking or something. You can be like this big meatball. And I'm like, okay, so I'm fat as fuck then. Right, okay, sorry, yeah. I
Yeah, but
still,
we were. That's not lying. Like we can't just
you
say to you,
said no, no, you're not
we
too
were like
fat.
we were 2 weeks out from the holiday. We're not going to tell you, yeah, you weren't too fat for the holiday. You like, there's no such thing as being too fat for a holiday. It's you choose. Like, no, there's nothing wrong with fat people. Fat people can be fat. It's if you're not okay with it. And if you ask us, are you or am I too
God.
fat for the holiday? It's like it depends what do you want. Like if you're telling us you want to be lean and if you're very, very fat, then yeah, it is our job as your friend to actually tell you, right, then you are too fat. But it's like, well, you know,
It was Michael's our mate. He's very like he's very like nah, you're fine. Like his reaction, I just knew it was over. Like, but yeah, it was a stupid question for me to ask, but it was also like everyone was just like, you're not too fat. And I was like, yeah, fuck.
sorry,
Yeah,
mate.
that was last year. We're going to Santa Ponsa in 13 days.
Santa Ponza coming up. Santa Ponza is on the rise. And I'm actually excited for it. I'm excited for it. Let loose a bit because it's been June was a very, very loose month, I think, for me. As I had a few holidays and stuff. Um
Mm.
business holidays, but still end up doing stuff.
Still a bit of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. July was a lot harder working. Still like different events and stuff, but August is seeming it's like a lot more lackadaisy. This week I'm going hard, and then I've got a family holiday where I'll still semi work, and then Ponza I'm not going to work. But see, for anyone that doesn't know who we are, I think it's important for us to actually because you've mentioned a few things about your past, and so have I, and what I do. Some people are
Mm.
probably maybe a wee bit confused about what it is that we do. So, do you want to go first? So, first of all, who is it that you are, and why should people actually listen to you? Because it's like, right, if someone's gonna listen to, let's say this is our first podcast, and I don't know, maybe it might last 5 episodes, and we might give up or fall out with each other. It might last 100 episodes or 400 episodes, or it might last forever, and we might be the biggest podcast in the world. Probably not, but like as long as we're consistent, that's all that matters to win. As long as because it's just a wee thing. We tip for everyone here. Do not set the barrier for success too high. It's like I'm gonna upload content, right? If you say I need to be famous or I need to become an influencer or get a brand deal, you're gonna set yourself up to be disappointed. Whereas you just say, right, I just need to upload one piece of content a day. That's realistic. You can do that. That's gonna be a win. But don't want to go too big into self-improvement. Leave that for the other one.
Mm.
As I was saying, whatever happens with this podcast, let's say we have 5 episodes after this, and people might decide to listen on. There's a lot of different podcasts. Who are you? And also explain your answer. Why should people listen to you and listen to this maybe when they're driving, when they're cleaning the house, when they're out for walks? Why should they listen? Or maybe when they're bored at work? Why do you think it's worth their time? Are you worth their time?
I think I come from a very, very like relatable background for some at least, but ever since I was a kid, I was very fat. I remember coming in from school and eating all around me, at least 4,000 calories a day, blew up like a balloon and had zero self-worth. Um, and then this continued until I finally got to the gym, which then stayed fat but a bit more built. But even during those times and throughout high school, I got bullied. I got shit from people. I didn't feel like I belonged anywhere. I felt as if that I was never in the right place or right group or felt valued enough. So I know a lot about loneliness. I know a lot about self-improvement, feeling like an imposter, feeling as if I'm not going to be good enough, especially in my early years. But I realized that through consistency, through doing what I say I'm going to do and being true to myself, that I can become a new person, especially when I went to uni, became a whole new person. And even then, I struggled um, a lot with loneliness, a lot with mental health. But now, as you see me in the flesh, I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm stronger than I've ever been. I'm enjoying life more than I ever have. My mental health's top shape. I don't beat around the bush anymore. I choose my friends wisely, which a lot of people can't do these days. They can't be true to themselves. They can't be true to actually, separate themselves from people that aren't not useful, but more so like they're not going to serve them. They're going to lead them down a path that is not for them. And a lot of you watching this will agree that you've had friends that are leading you down a wrong path. I'm telling you now that I've had a lot of experience with that. I got out of it. So can you. Why you should listen to me? Been through a lot of shit. That's why my advice is so good because but don't beat around the bush. I don't hold my words back because I know what you need. Because yeah, just I've been through the mill, but I've got out of it, and all I want to do is help people get out of their spot as well. If they're fat, if they're lonely, if they don't have enough self-confidence, that's what I want to do. That's why I started my channel. That's why I'm on this podcast right now is to help you. So that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to back that up to say, as well that Paddy, for anyone, or I'll address the person that's listening to this, like Paddy has been through a lot of shite in terms of like I know a lot of people say they've got like bullied or picked on at school, and I'd be one of the people that actually say, yeah, I got picked on at school or I got quote, unquote, bullied in school, but did I actually get properly bullied? Probably not. Like, um, whereas I know for you, like you have actually had to face like pretty bad bullying, and not even just that, like different things you've had to go through. Like, you have shown discipline, you've shown a lot of resilience through everything that you've been through, your background. There's another point I was about to say that was nice. It was there was another fucking point. Um, I forget what it was.
Just
I forget what it was.
it's
It's so annoying.
all good.
So annoying. Um, nah, I forget what it is. It's
To
actually
to, to
so.
under to underline it,
Oh,
I've
oh, oh,
got
oh. Wait,
more. Oh, go on.
I think I got it. And a lot of like people, anyone who knows Paddy in person knows that he is like, I don't know what it is, and I said it earlier, but you do have that voice where it's like, right, it's too reasonable, and like whenever shit hits the van, you will tell Paddy first. Like that is the sort of that's the sort of like thing I think when I think of Paddy, it's like, right, that's it, or something happens, that's it, or there's been things in the past that I've went to for, and you've gave your judgment, you've gave your opinion, um, obviously likewise too, but there's been
Yeah,
things I've went. went in the past. You've gave your judgment, gave your opinion, and you were right. You know what I mean? You've had that ability to say, "I told you so," and just very straight to the point. That's how I would say it. So that's enough glazing for now.
Um, just to touch on that, like I remember in back in like September, October, this is like just a wee bit after I started content. This boy in my uni, if he's watching, hello, I'm glad everything worked out for you. But this boy in my uni had texted me saying, listen, mate, I'm going through a very hard time right now. He never spoke. He spoke to me maybe once in his life. He just texted me online saying, "Listen, mate, you seem like like the type of guy that you'd want to be friends with. I was wondering if you want to get a coffee or something because he was going through a very tough time, and he was going through like something like tangible, like heartbreak, essentially." I sat him down and I said, like, this is exactly what you need to do. This is exactly like this is like you can't fuck around with this. I told him like the kind of game plan to go from there. Um, but yeah, like someone I didn't even know asked for my help, and that was a huge plus for me. And I went, Jesus, maybe I do have a bit of help. Like I can help someone tangible, you know what I mean? So just giving advice out in line, but like I want to have that kind of effect, you know. That happened a while ago, but on to you,
Yeah, but
I think.
it's just before we move on, it's a fact you don't give up either. Like you've been doing content now over a year,
Year and 2 months.
and anyone that I've been doing it now near 2 years, but anyone that I've seen start content during my time of doing content, or even a lot of people who were doing content when I started doing content have gave up or they've stopped, or maybe they do upload, but it's just every now and again. Um, Whereas for you, like there's even people I've coached that have did content, but they've then just ended up they've just stopped uploading for whatever reason, or it was just like sort of a oh, I like the idea of doing content. If anyone doesn't know what I mean by doing content, like uploading to TikTok, Reels, things like that, and helping people through that. And like we sort of have a structure of just doing it once per day. Like that's the best sort of frequency to have because it means you're forcing yourself to actually get something out. And sometimes even if you don't have a lot of time, even you just put something off the cuff, it can actually really help someone out. So the fact that you've actually showed up every single day and it's easy to show up every single day when you're seeing the return of the results. Like if you're in a fat loss phase and you're dropping weight every week, it's very easy. But then sometimes, just for whatever reason, people's genetics or things going on, they'll actually lose fat a lot slower. And then as a result, they're actually more demotivated. The same goes with content. Some people's page just takes a lot longer to actually kick off, or it takes longer for like a certain piece of content to click. I've obviously had that, and this sounds just I need to stop saying that. I'll say this
You
sounds so
do
egotistical.
you
I need to
you
stop saying that.
said way too much because it
I know.
adds no it adds nothing to a conversation. Adds
And
nothing.
trying to protect myself. Like, but basically, I found the content that really resonates for my audience, and it's like a lot of people might have seen it that's watching this. It's the fuck this framework videos where it's like, right, I go out in public, I might ask a girl for a number, I might, I was asking people for hugs. That sort of content did really well. And that content, it is very much on me. Like even before I started doing videos, I would have been the type of person to walk up to a group of lads, well as what's happening, and just like become mates with them all, or go up to a group of girls on a night out and start talking to them, and then the groups merge and everyone's sitting there chatting. I found that part of me, and I was able to take that into content, and it's done really well. So it's like clicked. Where sometimes it just takes a lot longer for it to click for someone. And obviously you haven't found that click yet, but I know you will find that click. But the fact that you still showed up past that, it shows that you're more disciplined than the type of person that uploads for a few weeks and does really, really well. Because of course they're gonna keep doing it. Whereas if you're not seeing the result and you can keep grinding, that's what's so important.
There's I've nearly quit a few times, but this is like way back in like the 3 4 month mark. I was like, ah, this isn't really like usually where people get to, and I was like, nah, this is just. And then I realized, no, this will help. And I've gotten a few messages, and I don't know if you can even see this, but I'll try to show you here. On my wall, just to like, just to make sure that I don't miss an upload. It says, I don't know if you can see this. You see that?
There's a fat ginger kid waiting for you to upload. For anyone that's listening,
There's a fat ginger kid waiting for you to upload, change his life. And I think my content could change. Like people I used to watch did change my life. They did put me on the right path. I want to be that for someone else, and I do believe that my content can be that for someone. And that's on my wall. That's every day, just to remind myself that it's not for me, it's for someone else. And I think that's like the basis for everything. Like as humans, we're here to serve. So who are you serving? How many can you serve? And are you willing to serve them? And yeah, I am. But like yeah, that motivates me every day. Like
And who out there doesn't want to help someone? You know what I mean? Like if you think of anyone that works a job, all jobs, and what do people do most of the week? It's work. What is work? It's helping someone else, no matter what you're doing. You know what I mean? If you're washing dishes in a restaurant, it's because you're helping the team to serve food to the customers. If you're a chef, you're helping people to eat good food. If you're a coach, you're helping people through coaching. No matter what you do, it's always going to be through helping people, and that's how people get their fulfillment. It's from work, and that's why I think personally, I'm no expert, but that's why I think a lot of people start to get them. I don't like talking about this issue because obviously it's a bit controversial, but a lot of people can get mental health issues or feel like they have mental health issues because they're not quote unquote fulfilled, but fulfillment comes from work. So if it's so easy actually like let's say you're a student to just take your student loan and not work, or it's so easy to maybe even jump on benefits and not work, or like not really go all in your work and just like be a bit lazy. I've had a job before where I had really nothing to do, and it is very unfulfilling, you know? So the way I think anyone can get out of a big rut is by helping other people. I think that's like the most important thing. If you're in a rut, start helping other people. And the who can you help? Who can you help the most? It's the old version of you. So same with you. It's the old fat ginger kid. So whoever you are, whoever's listening to this, if you feel like you're in a rut, help even just one person. Doesn't mean you need to upload content. Could be literally just helping someone that you see in the gym or having a conversation with someone. You're about to say something.
I just to like support myself through school, like university for the last year, I started working in sports director. And last week, I remember this week girl asked me for a shoe, just a size 4 shoe. She couldn't find anything. I suggested a shoe for her. Got her that shoe, and she had the biggest smile on her face. And I work in sports direct, and that gave me so much satisfaction. I was like, I helped the wee girl pick her ideal shoe for her new year at school, and that made my whole shift. Whereas people, like this is like I think rich people say, "Oh, money doesn't make you happy." To an extent, I think that might be true because if you don't work and you're people who win the lottery and stuff, like if you don't have anything to like fulfill yourself, and I suppose that's true, but like I think you need a mission in life or someone to help or like if I had the resources to help others like Mr. Beast, for example, like that's just like low hanging fruit, but like that is something that I think a lot of people want to do, but they just don't have the resources for it. But I think everyone wants to help others in some way, and that is also through work. I don't know why people demonize it so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like my favorite parts of all my best memories have been from working, and I know people will look at me now and be like, "Oh, must be nice," because obviously I work for myself now. I know it looks pretty cool. I'm in like a flipping den. This is my office. I know from the outside this can look very cool. And whenever I say it to someone, right, how good work can be, like, yeah, of course, work's good for you. Like, you work for yourself, and yeah, you can just wake up when you want, and yeah, can I? Yes. Do I have a boss shouting at me? No. But like the reason I'm in this position is because I have enjoyed work so much. And if you enjoy work and you find something you enjoy and you can't work at that, like you can get yourself to something like this. But even when I wasn't working for myself, I still loved work. I still loved going in. I've had multiple jobs. I still loved going into the office, being very high energy in a place that wasn't always high energy, and like just kind of taking the piss, kind of like I do now. But like yeah, just sort of having the crack. I remember coming in the office and it was like flipping Monday morning. And I just came in, oh, well, everyone, what's happening? What's the crack? And then some girl said to me, she's like, why do you have so much energy or something? And I was just like, why not? What's the alternative? To not have high energy, to not be excited about what you do. So no matter what you're doing, like you can't like even when I worked at Eurospar, which is round the house from round the corner from where I am now, before I went into the 9 to 5, when I was in Eurospar, I loved it and everyone around me said, yeah, this job's shit. Get me out. I was like, no, it's actually pretty good. Like get to stand at the hill, get to have the crack with the customers, or when I'm stocking shelves, I can just sit and daydream. Like,
Yeah, like every job I've ever walked into, I've said, how long, like even this happened in my last shift, this shift. How long have you worked here, mate? Let's say 3 months, sadly. And I was like, sadly, so you'd rather be unemployed or you'd rather have a different job and you'd probably hate that as well. Like, so there's something, or something else fundamentally wrong for you to say that. You know what I mean? Because either he really hates this job in the job he's working, or he's just had like he just hasn't worked in a worse situation. Because I've worked in warehouse. Warehouse sucks. I still work in warehouse on Sundays. I get 15 minutes break on an 8 hour shift, 9 hour shift. That sucks. The job I'm in now, Sports Direct, far better. I love it compared to that. So it's a difference of perspective or it's being ungrateful. I think people are just ungrateful these days. Like, and it sounds like I'm pandering for like like the upper class here. Like, but I think I think social media and stuff has made it so like there's 16-year-olds with millions. They're doing this, this, and this, and it's like, oh, I can do that as well, and I don't need to work my shitty job, and I can go and work from home. And like, do you think that every single person? I think it was like there was like a census done in an American school, and I think 70% of graduate high schoolers said they're going to be going to be millionaires.
was it not
And
they want to be an influencer or like a YouTuber?
no, it
Or
was
maybe that's a different one.
I'm gonna be in it. Like I think it was 70% said I'm gonna be a millionaire. 70%. Now, delusion is a great thing, but it's also like if 70% of the world were millionaires, like inflation must be crazy because I mean that doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? So people love the dream, but like we need essential workers as well, and there's so much pride in having a normal job. Like I need you to realize that. Like if you don't hate your job, you don't need to go on social media, and you don't need to do forex trading. If you don't hate your job, you have a good lifestyle, you have a good family. Maybe that's all you need. But and put down the phone and stop looking for a reason to go chase some dream that like you have no basis on. Like I'm chasing a dream right now. I love the dream I'm chasing, but if you're chasing dreams of wealth and
Yeah,
splendor and
you need to.
stuff, like do you not have a great life right now? And if you don't, yeah, go ahead, chase that. But if you do have a good foundation, a good life, don't don't be greedy, kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, you're enjoying the process. That's what's different. If you're enjoying the process, that means you win every single day. Like even during when I was like doing a lot of content during my grind of content, it was every day I just enjoyed uploading each video. I just liked uploading each video. I liked that. I enjoyed it. I loved it. I love the impact that it had. I love how I felt editing the videos. I love how I felt uploading. But see if all I wanted was followers and all I said, right, I just want followers. I just want followers. And that was all that was going on in my head. Well, I wouldn't have enjoyed the process because every time I uploaded, I would have been unhappy because I would have been like, oh fuck, I haven't got followers yet. Whereas if you enjoy the process, so more important. That's a wee bit off tangent, but you were saying there about like working your regular job and being happy with that, and that's something that's really important. And you're darn right. And it would be so easy for me to hop on here who works for himself. He's I do online coaching and I could easily say, yeah, it's class, you should all do it. And like I could even say, yeah, sign up, I'll teach you how to be an online coach too, pay me a bit of money. But the truth is that like every single job, every single thing is going to have downsides. And I've seen people who've went in online coaching and they haven't been able to take it because they think it's going to be one way and it's not that way, and they'll find out like their old job was actually better. And um like there are going to be benefits of every single thing you do, like every single thing. Like for me, for example, or for anything, you need to like look at right, what are the downsides? Because you're never seeing the downsides. So like for example, I'll use it my case. Someone's like, I want to be an online coach. It looks class. I'll go to Dubai. I'll live by the beach. So I don't know how many people told me, well, now that you work for yourself, why don't you just go to like a hot country and like chill by the beach? I'm like, I could, but I'm not going to because that's not living. I enjoy the process so much. Like that's not the outcome I want. But bit off topic as well. What what was I talking about now? What I was saying is you don't see the downsides. You don't see the downsides of like being an online coach, right? You need to upload content every day. That means you need to also put yourself out there every day. There's so many people doing content. There's so many people competing with you. So like you need to actually look into right, how do I actually make content that's better? How do I be different? How do I be unique? How do I make myself vulnerable? And when you put yourself out there and be vulnerable on the internet, you're opening yourself up to a lot of hate. A lot of things can go wrong, a lot of second thoughts. Oh, why did I upload that? Can't believe that person. I can't believe I uploaded that. That person probably seen it. That person liked it. You're overthinking.
Yeah, I've had that. I've had that.
Yeah. Again, like even running a business. All right. Yeah, I really want to run a business. Run the business as class. There's a lot of downsides that these people online trying to sell to you aren't going to tell you. Like, oh, I don't know how many lads I've met that wanted to go into sales and wanted to do a sales course. Like, oh yeah, it looks class. High tech sales. I'm going to high tech sales. Yeah. But like, it's like, do you actually want that, or you just see the money? Like that's it. It's just this person made 10K a month. Why do you want to do this? Oh, I just seen this person made 10K a month, and that's all
People
I want.
people always look for the highest leverage opportunities, but don't understand what it takes to get that leverage because you can go on a call tomorrow and make X amount of money, right? And people are like, oh, I have to work X amount of hours to make that money. But you don't understand how much time Owen's put into into his business. I've said to you, I was with you when you hit 10K followers, and I said to you, I would not want to live your life. And you should remember that. Like you remember that. Like I said, deadpan. You say I would not want to live your life. He puts in a lot of work, and I've
What
been
parts of it was it again?
about your lifestyle.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you want me to just
I'm not getting
sure?
offended. This is actually me just curious. I'm very curious.
No, so like the the constant sacrifice and this is some like glazing here, but the constant sacrifice is like, especially with me in uni right now, it's a bit hard. It's hard for me because I have so many like different outlets coming in. Ask like I've got volleyball, I've got socials, stuff like that. The amount of like social sacrifices you've made, um, the early nights, sorry, early nights, early mornings, being so regimented, there's no space for like flexibility unless you really want to do it. So like your hike clubs and Niall Donnan's thing, you obviously had to put that in like a Sunday. I think you take a Sunday off now. I'm pretty sure you work 7 days a week and you probably still do, but a Sunday's a bit more lax. Like you have to you're very, very regimented, whereas I'm a bit more go with the flow. Currently, I know eventually I'm gonna have to be deadpan, just flat out. Once I figure out what the fuck I'm doing. But like I said to you, like I couldn't at that point I couldn't fathom working that hard or like going all in on something. I think it's something that I struggled with because I don't have a set plan. Whereas you already knew you knew your mission, you wanted to like make people's life better, make epic humans. You wanted that, so you know exactly like that is something that I've always stuck to or like listened to is that you can be going at the speed of light, but if you're not going in the right direction, where are you going? So you need to know where you need to know your mission, your direction, your destination, and then you'll get to your point. And once you find your destination, you were just full steam ahead. And I was like, I would not want to go at the speed you're going right now. I would not want to have to give up those things. I would not have to eat the way you're eating, train the way you're training. Like Alex Hormozy said there, like if he has all the money in the world, if he can't enjoy the time he has training, then what was it all for? And you know, you need to have that flexibility. Like you say, you have like maybe an hour and a half to train. I like taking my time with training. That's just two fundamentally different people, but people change. Like I've worked harder than I have in a long time in the past few months. Um, but like just yeah, just those aspects. Some people just couldn't fathom it. Like you know.
Yeah. Appreciate it, brother. And yeah, like I flipping love every day. I love my life and I love the grind, as I say. I love to be dialed in, but of course, like there's a lot of times that I don't want to do it. And you know what? There's every day there's times I'm like, oh, this task, I'm literally just finished XYZ task. Why would I want to do said Y X task? But like it's just like I'm just so used to like, right, just do it, and then you get into flow and you start pulling the strings, and then you just start working. So like whether that's a piece of content, whether that's a batch of replies that I'm doing, whether that's helping out someone with someone programming, um, whatever, or if it's just like me actually working on my business and like on how I'm going to grow it, whatever it is, I do always find the way to enjoy a task. And a lot of the reason I actually enjoy the task that many people would find boring, and this is like this might break a lot of your hearts, is that I've cut out a lot of things that a lot of people would find fun. So like I don't play video games. So like if you don't play video games, you're not getting Paddy just play video games. So like this is where we disagree. Oh, we don't disagree, we just have different lives. Um, Whenever you play video games, you're getting dopamine. The way I see that as a waste because like you can also get dopamine for finishing like a hard task at work. So I'd far rather, or even like when I make a piece of content or and it takes a while, sometimes it takes hours to make, like even if it's a written post, I'd rather just get that dopamine from the written post. Whereas if I play video games, I would just want to play video games because it's easy, it's fast, it's cheap. Um, Whereas if I eliminate all the options, then it means I'm actually going to do the written post because like most of the time I don't want to do a written post, but it's like what else am I gonna do? Like I've only moved back here now, but it's still the same. And even when I was in Belfast, it's like right, it's a Thursday evening, it's a Wednesday evening. I've had my dinner, and what am I going to do now? I have in my Google Calendar that I need to do a written post talking about some sort of thing with self-improvement. Well, what else am I going to do? Like I don't have to do it, but like what else am I going to do? And then I do it and I feel great. So like it's that sort of discipline that I've brought in that I found has helped me so much, which some people are some people want to go through that, some people don't. But it's like right, everything's sacrifice. It doesn't mean that I'm right or you're wrong, or you're right and I'm wrong. It just means we have different lives, and like if you want the business, you have to be able to do things like that.
Your
Whereas
ability, sorry, go ahead.
no, I'm basically done. Like go for it.
Your ability to continue to do the hard things is like raising your VO2 max. Your VO2 max is your body's ability to push around oxygen. And if you increase this, everything in your life becomes easier when it's running, jumping, blah, 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 because oxygen's fuel the muscles. But let's say it takes 60 seconds to go around your body for oxygen. You do a task, it takes an hour. If you can then do the next task and the next task and the next task concurrently, if you can train that, you get a week's worth of work done in a day. So the more you train on being able to do the hard things over and over and over again, instead of thinking, I'm done this task, oh, I can't be arsed with the stress anymore, I'm gonna go watch TV or play video games or blah blah. Like if you can eliminate those small spaces and bring it down to shorter increments, like sure, take a 5 minute break and then go into something else, and then 5 minute break, go into something else, and then shorten the time, you get so much more done. And I think that's what you've definitely like you're getting close to mastering. And when it comes to video games, I use it as like I'm not ashamed of it. I love it. But when it comes to video games, it's the way I stay in touch with my friends from Ireland. So we will hop on a call. We will play some games. I'll take the piss out of them, say goodbyes, go to bed, blah blah. And it's like it's only from the hours of like 10:30 to 12, and then I'll go to bed. But that's the way I keep in touch with my friends. Other than that, I don't play anything else. But even so, if you play video games, if you're making 10K a month playing video games, fair play to you. Keep doing that. But if you know that it's affecting your ability to output whatever you're in. So if you're doing forex trading, if you're getting tired, if you're ruining the next day of your life because you played video games at 3 in the morning, something's wrong. You missed out. Like that is like it's hard, but you need to get out of that lifestyle now. Doesn't affect me. It affects you. Reel it back because that is a waste. It's the pot calling the kettle black, but it's my way of keeping in touch. But I'm not ashamed. Okay.
Yeah. I want to remind people that me and Patty, we are no experts. I don't even know what we're going to call this podcast. I was thinking we're going to call it figuring it out as we go or something. Like the actual name of the, not just this one, but the actual podcast. But like, I think that's been taken, which I researched. So need to figure out something. Or maybe you can just, if they haven't trademarked it, we could probably pop on that. But something to think about. But yeah, like what you said there about it's just cutting out things that aren't the thing. And that's literally all I did. I just dialed in on the thing and I found that it worked for me. Whereas you can build a business while playing video games, you definitely can. But for me, I didn't really want to, and I just found it easier without. Same way when you're dieting, you can fit in a McDonald's maybe every 3 4 days. But it's just a lot harder. Like your
It
hunger
makes
is
it
going to
a
be up
lot
there
harder.
because it's very calorie dense, like small amount of food. Who eats a regular meal at McDonald's when they're hungry and actually feels full? Very little people. Maybe my mum. But beyond that, if you're like dieting, you have McDonald's, you're not full. Or you could have like a good juicy chicken salad or decent solid bowl of oats, and you might feel a lot better because you're actually eating high protein stuff that's actually fueling you. So yeah, that's it. Cutting out the stuff that wasn't the thing. So how long are we in? We're about 45 in, are we?
Are they? I can't.
Start at 8:45.
Must be. Time
Yeah,
flies when you're talking shit.
it does. Well, we'll wrap it up in the next 10, but I'll go
Yeah.
into we've went through your sort of
Yeah. So we skipped
thing.
you.
So yeah, my ego took over there. I was like, I hate this shit. I want to start talking about me now. Polly's got to say his part. Now I need to say my part.
Yep.
So yeah, where do I start? Where do I start? So basically, um, when I was a kid, I never won any medals. I was very upset about that and wasn't happy with that. I decided at a young age, it was about 11, that I wanted to get a six pack. So as I said there, I just cut out everything that wasn't the thing. So what I did was I cut out bread, which doesn't you don't actually need to cut out bread, but it got me in a calorie deficit. Cut out bread and I hit a six pack ab workout every single morning. And I did that for months, about 3 months, and I ended up getting a six pack. So that was my first sort of taste of discipline and what it can actually bring. And like, people were kind of impressed. So, oh my God, how does this lad have a six pack? I had it as my Facebook profile picture. I was impressed. So, and,
You're cutting out a bit.
and yeah, then I went into nine. It said, hello.
Uh,
Oh, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back.
yep.
Yeah. Sweet.
It
So,
cut out. It cut out. It cut out from. I don't know. The cord might be
yeah, no,
different.
I know. I sort of know. I know where it cut out because it cut out for you too. But basically, went into a 9 to 5 office job. It was all right, but didn't love it. So did the 9 to 5 office job. Decided, you know what? F this. I got to a point where I wasn't happy with who I was in terms of my body, mind, and life. I wasn't happy with the physique I had because I always had a great physique. But when I was in the office job, I sort of just felt wasn't as consistent as I knew I could have been. Wasn't like fat as fuck, but you know, like I knew I could be better. Mindset wasn't all there, and just my life, it just wasn't the most happy as I could be again. So decided to make a change. I decided to go on a mission to be a better man, to become an epic human. I went fully back into the training, fully back in with the diet, just became a better human and how I actually treated people too. And started uploading content about my journey to try to inspire other people. And content sort of got decent and people sort of started following me from that. And I sort of traveled. I just did different things and I did a lot of different things. As your mom said, I was a go-getter. I did like extra work. I did charity work. Just anything where I could get out and meet new people, I just did it. I just said fuck this and even ended up getting my PT course on the side, became a PT, was working 2 jobs, and I even gave up alcohol for a wee while. And at that point, that's where after I got back, I cut out everything that wasn't the thing. I didn't even know what the thing was. Didn't always know what I wanted to be passionate about, but I found out when I got off the alcohol what I really want to do, and it was to just go all in on like helping people through the systems, the processes, and the strategy that I use to actually help myself. So that's where I started dialed in by McGinn, and I launched that in December 2024, which was over a year and a half ago now. And yeah, launched that, and the rest is history. Building Epic Humans. Now I coach over 115 people, and still rock and roll. So that's sort of my story and what I do. And the reason you should listen to me is because, well, coached over 115 people, so I sort of know what I've got a good age range and a good demographic that I've worked with. I've seen what they struggle with. I've seen like more so inside your head. Like, see, when you're speaking to a coach, you're going to tell them more than what you say. Just when you speak to a friend and you learn the truth. And even, I'll be honest, from coaching so many people, you end up learning a lot about yourself, and end up becoming the best version of you from that. And I find that it's not just me who's built Epic Humans, it's through coaching. It's built me to be an Epic Human, I find. So I think that experience would allow me to help the audience that is listening to this podcast. So yeah, I'm happy enough to admit that I am not perfect by any means. I've got flaws. I still have to deal with shit, but well, I mean, I still make sure that I just show up every day for myself, show up for my clients, show up for my content, and anything in the past that like set me off, like when I wasn't consistent with training, wasn't consistent with food, when I just wasn't a good person, when I used to lie to people. As long as I'm not doing anything like that, then it's a great day and I'm getting better. As I say, 1% better every single day. So that's sort of my sell of who I am, if I were to say.
Need to be a front runner.
What does that mean?
So you say like it makes you a better person. It's come out like being a better person about like coaching. Like you need to be the person leading the pack. You need to be the person that like people can look to for inspiration. So like being a front runner, trailblazers are the people who went up mountains and made trails for other people to follow. Like that's what a coach should be. And you are an example of that. You exemplify front runner. Um, Great coach, coach me. What was that about over? No,
104?
actually, 100. Put me 104 to 73.9 day of the photo shoot. Um, since then I've just been building, but yeah, great coach. Like, and that was it's only improving. Like,
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. I thought
what
it was 74, so it must be a shit coach. Don't remember your exact weight at photo shoot day. I thought it was 74 in my head, not 73.9. Shit.
thing is though, one thing I want to touch on is like 73.9 is my peak, but I could definitely get leaner. That's the thing. So that's my current goal at the moment. But never set a peak for yourself, or else you'll never break it. That's one thing. Just a weak side tangent. Never set a peak.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't get too focused on like planning too far ahead, right? I need to be this exact weight for this exact date. It's always just better. Focus on the day, right? What can I do today? It's gonna get me better. When you focus on the day, like you it's so much more realistic because you're like, right, oh, I need to lose 15 kg. Fuck's sake, I'm a fat fucker. Right? How am I gonna lose 15 kg in the next month or the next 2 months or next 4 months or 5 months? And then you get overwhelmed. Oh, what about that wedding? What about that birthday? Yada yada yada. I can't keep this up. Boom, give up. Whereas if you just say, right, what can I do today? Right, I'll figure out what my maintenance calories is. Figure that out. All right, I'm gonna eat below this. I'm gonna get 8,000 steps. Boom, there you go. And you're already closer to where you want to be. So don't sit over. The reason you're overthinking, for anyone that's overthinking, is because you're not focusing on what you can do today. Because you're focusing on what you could do today, right now, in the present. The only thing you have control of, you'll be moving forward. Whereas if you think, future, you don't have control over that, and that's where you worry. That's where you get stressed. That's where you can get a piece of anxiety too from that, I believe.
I was talking to a guy who was 7 weeks out from a bodybuilding show, and he walked in, and I was like, I saw you were doing your videos for like combat strangers, and I was like, fuck this. So I went up to him and said, lad, you're the most cut person I've seen in the past few months. Like, well done. What's going on? He says, 7 weeks out, so this is nothing. I was like, yeah, I can believe that. Told him about the photo shoot and all, but he said, uh, I saw him cut. He was cut. He went over to the cardio machine and then he put on a pump cover, and I was like, why are you wearing that? He goes, well, there's no point in me looking at myself, judging the way I look when I have 7 weeks to go, and I'm nowhere near my peak. So why would I get in my head about something that I can't change right now? All I have to do is get on this treadmill and walk. And I was like, that's fair enough, because it doesn't matter how you look now. It's only matters about what he did 7 weeks before, 5 weeks before, the week before. All it mattered was the actions, not the way you look. And that's why people fail, because they feel as if it's like a 1-to-1. If I eat 1,500 calories, I should lose this amount of weight. It goes off tomorrow. No, the first 2 weeks gonna be nothing. 2 to 3 weeks, nothing, and then big result. That's personal to me. Might not be the same for you, but just wait. Do the actions. It will come. And don't get in your head too much, because that is a big killer. So yeah, we tangent.
Brother. I like it. Plenty of tangents. That's what we're about. So yeah, I'm happy enough to wrap. I think this was a good one. It's been about an hour.
I liked it.
Probably wrap about the 60-minute mark, but it was great. So well, any ideas for what we'll actually call this or how it's gonna work? Like literally me and Patty, this is 10 minutes ago. Or no, sorry, not 10 minutes before I filmed this. I just texted Patty. I was like, shall we give this a go? See what it's like. See, because I just think we're at when you're sitting alone in front of podcasts, like that's good. You can obviously go through different things, but whenever you're talking to someone, yes, of course, you're not going to be as direct over the advice that you give, but it also means you can actually just give advice that you wouldn't have give otherwise, or have conversations
Mm.
you wouldn't have had. And it's just two lads talking about life and trying to help other people along the way. But any ideas what to call it?
Tangents. I don't know.
That's shite, mate.
It is shit.
That is
Yeah.
shite.
You put me on the spot. Fuck off.
I won't ask again.
Cheers.
Well, I was thinking figuring it out along the way because that's what we're doing. But that's been taken. But again, like, does that mean we can't use it? I don't know. Another one we could do is I had it in my head.
There is another
Uh
Dialed In podcast.
yeah, no, but I'm the real dialed in podcast. Like, don't even speak about that on one. We've got figuring out along the way. Then there was the I forget it. What was that last point you had? Oh, enjoying the journey. Nah, the crack on the
No.
I think figuring out along the way, that's the only one I could kind of think of, but we could probably think of something better.
Yeah, but just give us time. But next episode we'll have something, and something solid.
Well, sometimes pressure creates diamonds, you know what I mean? Pressure can just force you to think of something really creative on the spot, whereas if you overthink it, it's like, right, you'll never get it.
What, so you just want to sit here in silence until we come up with something?
No, I just want us to come up with something in the next 15 seconds. Right, 15 seconds, complete silence. Let's have a think. Right, got two ideas. Can I say them before I forget?
Yeah, you go.
Right, so first of all, first idea is the know-it-alls. Because like say you just heard a clip of me and you talking, you'd be like, these lads think they know it all. Whereas truth is we don't. But if you only find that out if you listen to the full podcast. So the know-it-alls, or I don't know if this Wait, now I think now I'm about to say it out loud. I'm actually embarrassed saying it because it actually sounds a bit like
Just said
this is an offensive
you're
word, but it sounds a bit gay. Not an offensive way. Not that gay is a bad thing. It just sounds a bit gay. Um, Straight and wavy.
what the fuck is that?
Because the fact that
What?
we're so different. We're so different. One's straight, one's wavy. Straight and wavy.
Polar opposites? I don't know.
I
Mm,
thought straight. I thought straight and wavy. There's like two different ways to reach your goals. You can go straight or go wavy.
that just okay. So anyone clicking on this podcast is going to assume that one of us is gay. They just have to try and figure out which one it is.
Oh fuck.
uh,
The know-it-alls.
the
Know-it-alls.
no the know-it-alls is I actually like that.
The know-it-alls. And if you were a person, would you be like a person? You are a person. If you were someone that watched either of our content, would you be like, I want to listen to the Know-It-Alls podcast?
I like it. I think we should go with that one.
Not figuring it out along the way, no. It's kind of
Too lo
opposite to the Know-It-Alls.
too long. And we do talk as if we know it all. We have it all figured out. And a lot of people would assume that. Whereas we definitely don't like.
Don't. We don't. Yeah, because then there's the irony of it. Right. The Know-It-Alls, it is. That's it. Like we can't change it now. This is it.
It's a bit slots styled in now. Like.
It's like and so many people listening to this might have thought of starting a podcast, might have started thought opening a business or uploading videos. Realize you can just do it tonight. Like for example, this I thought of it 10 minutes before we hopped on the call, and now we have a name. More or less likely, Paddy's going to be a kind fella and set it up. Actually, well, to be fair, I know how to set it up. Well, no, I did. I set up my podcast like over a year ago, so I actually don't remember. Um, I'm busy, bro. Busy. Got clients to take care of.
Yeah.
Um, but for anyone watching this, I want you to take this as a sign. Maybe watching it back. Whatever it is you want to do, a lot of maybe not everything, but a lot of those things, a lot of things you want to do, you just start it tonight. Like you're literally just thinking, you're overthinking. You are overthinking. You're probably too smart. And realize there are people who are stupider than you. They have lower IQ. They can have half your IQ, but they're doing better because they have one thing. They have agency. What is agency? Agency is the ability to just do something. It's just the ability to show up. So if you're very, very smart, you have a great brain, you're very, very well educated, and you're like, "Right, I'm going to make a podcast of talking about books. That's great. But if you never actually do it, it never goes out on the market. People can't watch it. People can't see how great you are. Whereas if someone who's like half as smart as you makes that podcast about books, well, they're gonna win because they actually did it. And the same goes with this. This podcast, we've just done it, and now we've got a name, and we've got a full podcast, and I think we've got some good value. So
Owen came to me with that idea like 10 minutes before we started it, and my brain went, how can I say no to this? But this was subconscious. Like I didn't want to say no, but my brain was like, oh, how can I not do this? Because it's a bit like, what am I going to say in it? Am I gonna make a fool of myself? Am I going to say something wrong? Like my brain was just kind of, no, 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 no. Like if someone comes to you with an idea, with something that could potentially change your life, let's go on a run, let's go to the gym. Just say yes, see what happens. If you didn't like it, don't do it again. But don't pass up an opportunity just because your brain tells you no. Because your brain's only trying to protect you from looking like the fool. So just be a fool. I think that's how you succeed is by being the fool first.
facts. And as I said about we need to stop giving value because we actually need to end this. As I said about long term overthinking, me and Patty don't actually know if this is going to be a 100 episode special. Then we'll go our separate ways in 100 episodes, or if we'll do 10 episodes, or if we'll do five, or if it could be a massive thing where we could bring in sponsors and bring in guests maybe now and again. Like that could be a thing, but like, why overthink? Just upload the first one. I'm gonna send this to some people and ask them to give some feedback. Get the feedback and move on from there. And that's actually that's the only way you move forward. You just start stepping forward. Stop thinking about the whole flipping mountain and just think about the next few steps. Right, where do I put the next foot over this rock? Right, do it over this rock. Where do I put it next? Over that next rock, right? Put it over the next rock, rather than think, how am I gonna navigate? How am I gonna walk past that tree? Figure it out when you're up there.
Mhm.
So
I
we
thought
will
I thought
call.
you were just gonna keep going there. I was like, there's too many rocks. Anyway,
No, 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 no. We'll call it there. We don't have all
all
night.
right.
I could do this all day though. But we do need to call this. So anything you want
Plenty
to say
more
to
to
the people?
come. Um, just if you enjoyed this, leave a rating because we need ratings on it to push it out. And if you did find this valuable, send it to one of your friends. They could use it as well. Um, there'll be a whole load of different links down. Go check out Owen's mail list, my channels. I do my own podcast as well when I can be arsed or when I have something to say because I don't put out shit. Um, and yeah, Godspeed to you all. Have a great day. And yeah, I think that's all.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if you missed anything. No. Good idea. I should put my email list in the bottom because it's so good. Just a wee plug. It's free, by the way.
Completely free, weekly uploads,
Big
2 minute
uploads. The
read.
best 2 minute reads you will get. Like if you like my content, if you like this, I'm not joking. Guys, if you don't want to do it, go for it. But more importantly, for this podcast, rate it because we're only really starting here. Or if you're listening back, the fact you're listening back shows that it's probably a pretty decent podcast. Or maybe you're trying to actually, maybe me or Paddy did something really amazing in the future, and you're like trying to like learn from every single piece of content on the internet. I've done that with a lot of mentors before, where I've like went back through all their old podcasts and stuff. Maybe you're doing that. Maybe I ended up in prison, and you're like studying my life story, make a documentary. You're
This
looking at
man's this man fucking documentaries, war, prisons.
oh
He's insane. Like
you're gonna find out a lot about my how my mindset goes around
he,
war, and I study it. Yeah, gotta keep on top of everything. But yeah, before I
yeah,
go off on another
that's
tangent, guys, rate and review. And if you have enjoyed this, just send it to a friend. That's it. That's all I want you to do. Just
yeah.
send it to a friend. Like, just do that. Thank you.
Or
And
if you think we're gimps, don't. Just actually you wouldn't be here, so it's fine. Anyone who
yeah,
enjoyed it, yeah, I've set it off.
cheers. Thank you very much. Have a very, very good day, guys.